Good afternoon and welcome to today's mobility class. My name is Kayla and I'm going to be taking you through a quick routine that you can do during your lunch schedule. During this class, you don't need any equipment. However, I do strongly suggest that you have a wall and some kind of elevated platform near you, whether that be a couch, a chair, a stool. We won't be using it for a lot, so if you don't have it, no worries. You'll need some floor space. We will be bringing it down to the ground at some point. However, most of the movements we're doing today are all going to be standing, so this is something you can easily do if you're still in your work clothes or if you are in workout clothes. Something quick that you can get through your day, okay? A lot of this is going to feel kind of like a warm up for what you would do for your workout for the day, and that's okay. A lot of these are going to be dynamic stretches, some mobility exercises, and some static stretches. So please know when I tell you to hold a stretch, I don't want you to push yourself to the point of any pain. You should feel mild discomfort in that stretch, okay? So please know your limits. Obviously, while we're working at home, we're not moving as much. So we really want to make sure that we're, again, not moving too fast and not pushing ourselves too much, okay? So let's go ahead and start off standing. Depending on how long you've been sitting down today, I want those feet underneath those hips. Nice strong posture here. And we're just going to start off with some shoulder circles. So I want you to take those shoulders back. We're going to do 15 backward shoulder circles. You can close your eyes here if you'd like. And if you don't want to count along, you want to just do it until I tell you to switch, that's also okay. I'm hitting 15 reps here. I'm going to switch it over, 15 forward. Really try to draw those circles with those shoulders. It's okay if going forward is a little bit more difficult than going behind you. Good. After all 15, reset yourself again. And again, making sure, guys, we're not locking our knees here. It's really easy to lock those. We're going to keep them slightly loose. As we stand, let's go ahead and do some neck shoulder circles. So let's take it slow together first. So I want you to bring your chin down toward your chest, right ear down toward your right shoulder, head behind you, and over to your left ear. I want you to do this 5 more times. So chin down to your chest, shoulder, behind you, left side, and front. Take your time. Start off with small little circles. If any of these don't feel comfortable for you, always modify. You can just do side to side. And steady yourself. We're going to go back the other way. If you need a little bit of break, you can. So now bring it down to your right shoulder, chin to your chest, left shoulder, or whichever is the opposite direction than you went last time. Good, feel that stretch. And knowing our limits here, not pushing ourselves too much. Good, relax. If you need a few seconds, take it here. We're doing some side reaches next, so I'm going to spread my feet a little bit wider. I'm going to start with my left hand on my left hip here, and we will be alternating those hands, but we're going to do some side reaches. So we're going to go ahead and do 12 side reaches total, so 6 on each side. I want you to pause for a second or two each time you reach. Again, not reaching too far over. We don't want to stretch too quick, so take this a little slow. So for example, if you want to start with me, I'm using my right arm. I'm reaching to my side over my head. And then I'm going to gently sway to the other side. Good. Keep that core nice and tight. Focus on your breathing here. This should feel really nice. And again, if you want to close your eyes as we're getting away from our desk today, that's perfectly okay. Good. I'm almost there. I'm on my 9th rep here. If you can't do 12 reps too, that's okay. And if it feels good, you want to do a few extra, that's also fine. Good. Setting yourself back up, bringing those feet in toward your hips. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do some windmill shoulder circles. So we're just going to do both arms at the same time. Slowly going back back and forth here. We'll just do for 10 seconds. Make sure we're not getting super twisty in our spine. We want to keep that core nice and tight. And once you've hit 10 seconds here, go ahead and switch directions. It's kind of tricky for a second. Woo. If your shoulders are sore this week, if you're doing our plank challenge, I'm sure you're feeling it. And go ahead and relax. We're going to do another one with our arms real quick. We're going to do some chest openers. So you're going to open up that chest and you're going to cross your arms. You're going to have one arm over. As you open back up, you're going to switch arms. So nice and easy. We don't want to go too fast here, and don't crank those elbows back too far. We want to keep them slightly bent. Ooh, let's do 10 of these here. And last one. Let's not forget about our wrist, as I'm sure you guys have noticed, as you're on your computer a lot, we're on our phones a lot now, or you're doing a lot more body weight exercises, so your hands are always underneath those shoulders on the floor in a flexed position. Let's go ahead and relax those wrists a little bit. So we're going to take those hands out in front of us, going clockwise direction, and I want you to do 10 circles clockwise here. Drawing circles with those fingertips. And when you've done your 10, switch counterclockwise here. Good. I want you to take that right hand forward. Left hand is going to go across those fingertips. And we're just going to gently push those fingertips back. You don't want to crank it back too far here. So I've just got a little bit of a push coming back. Take a deep breath. Good. Relax. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So again, just gently pushing those fingertips back. Good. Let's take those palms together at your chest, and I want you to push your palms together and then slowly let your wrists sink down toward the floor. You're going to feel this a little bit more in your forearms here. Again, making sure we're not pushing ourselves to the point of extreme discomfort. And we're going to slowly rotate down toward the floor. And relax. All right, so that was a little bit of upper body. We're going to be moving on to some lower body exercises and then kind of intermixing them for the rest of our class today. So again, for these next few ones, please know your limits. If your hamstrings are overly tight, your calves, if anything doesn't feel right to you, you're always welcome to kind of skip past it or shorten the time that we're doing it, okay? We're going to start off with a staggered hinge. So I know this is going to be a little difficult for you guys to see, but what we're going to be doing is it's basically like a good morning, so if you've done this with me, but we're going to have one knee slightly bent, and the other leg is going to be fairly straight here. So what this is going to look like, my hands are going to be on my hip, shoulders are pulled back, and I'm going to push my bottom toward the back of the room. I'm going to feel a stretch in whatever leg is straighter. So for example, this left leg is straighter here, my right knee is bent. As I push my hips toward the back of the room, I'm feeling a nice stretch in that hamstring. Then we'll be switching, so the other leg will be slightly bent, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Again, on that slightly straight leg, we are not locking out that knee, so you want to keep that a little loose. We're going to do 10 reps on each side. This is going to take a little bit of time. If 10 reps are too much, knock it down. Maybe do 8 reps, 6 reps, or 5 reps. That's completely fine. So big thing again, guys, we want to keep those shoulders pulled back, core nice and tight, and our neck is going to be nice and neutral during this. So let's start together. We're going to have our left knee is the one that's bent here, okay? So we're kind of up on our toes. I know you guys can't see me, but I am up on my toes. That heel is up. My right foot is completely flat on the floor. Hands on those hips, pull those shoulders back, and let's go ahead and begin. So we're going to push those hips toward the back of the room, keeping a nice straight back. I'm feeling that stretch in my right leg, and I'm going to bring it up nice and tall. So that was 1 rep. So we're going to do our reps at our own pace here. So remember, you guys can always pause this video if you want to take a little bit longer of time. Pushing those hips. If you're not feeling this stretch, chances are that we're getting kind of rounded in our back. We want to keep those shoulders back. We really want to lean back in that heel. It should be kind of like, it should feel good and bad, right? We're feeling that stretch in that hamstring, but at the same time, we're getting some movement here. Got 2 more reps if you're kind of keeping pace with me. we're gonna switch sides here. So now my left leg is fairly straight, my right knee is going to be bent, so we should be feeling it in that left hamstring. So again, pull those shoulders back, and let's go ahead and begin. So pushing those hips toward the back of the room. If you want to make this a little bit harder, and as you come up, squeeze those glutes up top. Don't overextend those hips, but squeeze those glutes. Good. Add that pause for a second as you push those hips back. Got 2 more reps here. Good, and relax. I really like that one. I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. We're going to be moving on to a little bit more complicated of a movement next. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be holding the bottom of a squat. So for this next one, depending on where your mobility is at, you might be able to do it without having anything behind your back. You can also grab on. So I've got my couch near me. You can have something to hold on to. You're going to have your back up against the wall, or again, if your ankle mobility, if you've got good enough hip mobility to bring it down into a squat without anything, you're going to be doing that as well, as long as your heels are on the floor. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to tilt this down so you guys can see me fully here. We're going to be holding the bottom of the squat, so let's go over this together. We still let our shoulders pull back. Our back is nice and straight, and our chest is up. I'm going to take my feet slightly wider than hip width. My toes are slightly out here. And I want to sink back into my squat. So I want weight in those heels, keeping my chest up, lowering myself down. I'm going to hold on to the couch here for support. And right when I feel that stretch in my hip flexors, I'm going to hold this position. I don't want you just letting yourself drop to the floor where you don't feel that stretch in your hip flexors, okay? So it's finding that moment where it's kind of hard to hold that squat. So we're going to be doing this 3 different times, and we're going to build in how long we hold it each time. So the first time we'll start small. We're going to hold for 10 seconds. Give you a little bit of a break. 20 seconds for the second round and 30 seconds for the very last one. Now this is difficult. If you also have like a dumbbell or a kettlebell at home or some kind of weight, you can also hold it at your chest and let yourself drop down. For those of you guys who are still having a hard time steadying yourself, bring yourself up against the wall. You're going to let yourself slowly sink down. You can place those elbows between those knees and hold that position nice and comfortably here, okay? So let's get ready for this one. This may be easy for you, it may be difficult for you. So again, if you want to hold it a little bit longer, that's completely fine. So let's go ahead, bring it over to a couch here. That's what I'm doing, you don't have to follow me here. And we're going to start off with 10 seconds for the first one. So again, feet are a little wider than hip width, toes slightly out, keep that chest up tall. And let's go ahead and begin to sink into that squat. Once you find that position, we're going to have those heels down on the floor, holding that position here. Take a deep breath. We want to feel that inner hip flexors, our ankles. And relax. See, that was really easy. That was only 10 seconds. I'm going to bring it over to the wall now so you guys can see it a little bit different. We're going to hold for 20 seconds. You can hold it exactly where you were. You don't have to move here. So again, let's slowly bring ourselves down. And let's hold, keeping that chest up tall. Again, feeling that weight in those ankles, those heels, and those hip flexors. Breathe it out. This may be hard for you. This is one of my more difficult stretches for myself. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring yourself out of that. All right, we're going to make it a little bit harder. We've got a 30-second hold. If you like this stretch and you want to do a little bit longer, again, you can always pause that video, okay? So getting ready for our last one here, 30 seconds. Let's go ahead and bring it down into that squat. And here we go, holding it up, chest nice and tall. I want you to think happy thoughts. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Good, 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring yourself out of that squat. You can use onto the wall, or the couch to bring yourself up. Nicely done there, guys. For our next one, we're gonna do a calf stretch. Now, for your calf stretch, chances are while you're stuck at home, we've been doing a lot of walking as well as a lot of body weight movements. Usually that brings a little strain, like I said, to our wrists, shoulders, our feet, and definitely our calves from all that walking if you're doing a lot of walking every day. So we want to make sure we stretch our calves a little bit. I've got a couple options for you guys today, so I want you to pick what feels best on your body. Option one is simply no equipment or no wall or anything involved. You're going to have your heel on the floor, toes pointed up to the ceiling. Now, I want you to get a nice stretch on this, but I also want us to get a little bit of movement. So how I'm going to have you guys do it today, you're going to take whatever arm of the foot or the calf that we're stretching. You're going to take an inhale up, reaching to the ceiling. So we're going to get a nice little stretch in our back as well. And then you're going to exhale. You're going to reach down toward your toe. And we'll hold that for 10 seconds. So I'm going to have you guys do that 3 to 5 times. I'm going to give you a little bit of a range there to see how you feel. If you don't like doing the reach, you're going to come up against a wall or couch. Take that foot up at an angle. You'll hold for 10 seconds. Kind of ease off that calf, relax, and go right back into it, okay? So I will show both versions. I probably kind of prefer to do the reach, so it's up to you on what you'd like to do here, okay? Let's go ahead and start with our right foot. So we have our heel on the floor, toes up to the ceiling. Again, shoulders pulled back here. We want to focus on that form. And go ahead with me, guys. Let's go ahead and start. Let's reach up, inhale to the ceiling. And we're going to exhale. We're going to hold it down here for 10 seconds. So breathing, reaching those toes toward our body, feeling the nice stretch in our calf. And you might feel in our hamstring too if you're really tight here. 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and inhale back up top. Exhale down, reaching toward that toe again. 10 seconds here. My back is straight here, guys. You notice I push my hips toward the back of the room. 3, 2, 1. Back up nice and tall. Exhale over. If you need to hold yourself up a little higher, if that hurts your low back, you can always come mid-thigh. And relax. Back up nice and tall. Good, we're almost there. I'm going toward 5 reps. If you don't want to do 5, and again, you want to do 3, you can always stop and take a break. Good, relax. Last one here. And slowly relax. That was tough on my calves. I know I am super tight this week from walking. Let's go ahead and switch sides here. So now I've got my left heel on the floor. I'm going to go ahead and show this one against a wall in case you want to follow. But go ahead and do the same one that you did. So if you're already doing it on the wall and you need a little bit of clarification, I'm going to show it here. So we're going to go ahead and start. Again, guys, for reaching up, go ahead and inhale, reach up. And let's go ahead and lean forward, stretching that calf. If you're against the wall, again, keeping that back straight, pushing into the wall. Take a deep breath. 3, 2, 1. Slowly ease off. Again, let's inhale, exhale as you push forward. And relax. Again, going right back into it. Good, relax, almost there. Here, let's do it again. Bringing it in. And relax. All right, so you're feeling that already, I'm sure. Hip flexors, calves, or hamstrings. We're going to go ahead and do a nice little hip opener next. And so as you guys will see, we're at 19 minutes here. This is going to be under 30 minutes today. We just have a few more stretches left. So for our next one, few options again. You can be up against a wall, which I will probably prefer myself today. The modified version is you'll have that chair or your couch next to you, and you'll take one leg on top of your other. We're going to be gently kind of pushing our knee down toward the floor so we can feel that in our glute and our hip. So you're going to be doing the same thing but on a couch if you don't want to do the standing version. So for the standing version, We're gonna hold on to the wall here for a little bit of balance. Let's go ahead and take our right leg. We're bringing the shin right above our left knee. And I want you to sit back. So make yourself a chair here. Keep that chest up. Again, you can place that knee gently, or that right hand gently on your knee, pushing down. Feeling that stretch in that glute and that hip. Good. We're going to slowly come out of that. Take our left leg across our right this time. Again, you can hold onto that wall. Slowly bring it down if you need to switch sides. So you can use that hand. And relax. All right, we've got a few left here. Again, on these next few ones, you will need the wall near you. So make sure you have enough space in your wall. We're going to be reaching that arm, and you're going to get a lot of distance on the wall, so you want to make sure you don't have any picture frames or any sharp edges that you're going to run your hand into. So we're going to be doing some shoulder circles. On the shoulder circle, guys, so for instance, I got my light switch over here, so we're going to be kind of over against this wall. For our shoulder circles, we're going to stand a couple inches away from the wall, okay? My feet are underneath my hips. Core is nice and tight. When I say that, guys, it's not sucking in your belly. It's really kind of bracing your core here, okay? Really just tightening it up here. Shoulders back. We're going to start with some shoulder circles. Again, you want to make sure you have enough arm's length out in front of you, above you, and behind you that you're not going to run your hand into anything, okay? I can't stress enough, I am not there with you. So please know your limits here. Just because I have a full range of motion here, it's taking me time to get to that point. So if you're not there, we don't want to push that shoulder out of its comfort zone, especially right now while we're working from home. We're doing a lot of shoulder exercises. Our shoulders are already probably a little tight during this time. So again, ease into this one here, guys. Let's go ahead and do a practice one. So standing nice and tall, I'm taking the back of my hand is against the wall, starting at my hip. From here, I'm going to slide my arm in a circle up against the wall, keeping my fingertips against the wall, by the way. Bringing it up until it's above my head. And from here, guys, now I'm going to switch to my palm against the wall. And here, want to keep my hips and my core forward. I want to slowly let that palm slide back as far as I feel comfortable. So if you're stuck here and that's all you got, stop there. Bring it back to over your head, go back to the back of your hand, and let it come all the way down. And you're going to keep practicing in that range. If you're where I'm at, you're going to come all the way up, palm against the wall, and you're going to let yourself go all the way backwards in that circle to your hip, and then you're going to restart. So again, you noticed if I said keep your hips forward, it's really easy during this, especially if your shoulder's tight. As you're doing that backward circle, you'll notice a lot of people look toward the wall and their hips actually shift toward the wall. I want to challenge you to keep those hips forward at the front of the wall, okay? So what we're going to do, let's go ahead and just do 5 circles with our right arm and 5 circles with our left arm. So let's go ahead and get ready. Back of our hand against the wall, starting at our hips, and let's go ahead and reach. So nice and slow, up above our head, turn it palm against the wall, and then slowly keep those hips forward. Reach all the way back until you're to the back of your hand at your hip again, and repeat. If you've got a ring on or a bracelet, by the way, you might want to remove it for this exercise. And you'll notice I kind of keep my hand on my core. It's making sure that I'm staying braced here, and I'll feel if I kind of slowly start to shift toward the wall. And if you can't do a full 5 reps, stop at 3 reps. Good. I believe that was 5 reps. If it was slightly off, maybe you counted yours there. We're going to go ahead and switch sides so you get nice and tall posture, hand at our hip. You might not be the same range of motion on this side, so again, don't force it here. Just because one arm went all the way back, you might only be able to go halfway. Let's go ahead and see that. So go ahead and lift it up again, keeping that back of the hand against the wall, taking it back. And making sure to breathe, guys. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Good, relax. All right, guys, let's see what we have time for here. We've got time for just one more stretch, so let's make it a good one. We're gonna go ahead and do a chest opener. So we're gonna do a chest opener because while we're sitting at that desk, it's really, really easy. We're internally rotated here. Shoulders are kind of collapsing forward as we're at our desk. So we want to open up that chest. We want to feel like our neck is relaxed and we're able to pull those shoulders down and away from our ears. So for this one, you'll need a corner of a wall. Some of you guys might have done this with me in a past mobility class. It's real important, again, listen to your body on this, and we don't want to push ourselves past the limit here. So when we get against this wall, we're going to be in a lunge stance, so our back can stay nice and straight, and we're going to have our arm up 90 degrees. Your palm of your hand and your elbow is going to be against that wall, and you're going to be slowly pushing into the wall, so that you should be feeling that right in your chest and your shoulder, okay? So let's go ahead and start the first one together. I'm going to start on my left arm so you guys can kind of see me from the side first. So because I'm starting with my left arm, I'm taking my arm right at the edge of that wall, palm flat again, elbows against it. I'm going to come into a lunge. So I've got my right leg forward. I'm in my lunge position. Now you guys can't see my arms super well here. And from here, I'm going to keep my core tight, and I'm going to push into that wall. So I'm feeling that stretch in my chest. I'm not feeling anything in my back. I'm going to hold this position. And again, we're not leaning forward too much. We're just keeping, again, that core tight to be able to push into that wall. We're going to hold this for 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. All right, you probably felt that stretch there. Again, if that felt too much for you, ease back a little bit on this other arm. So let's go ahead and do our right arm. So we've got that elbow. We want that in line with our shoulder, guys, so don't forget about that. Elbow in line with our shoulders, palm flat against the wall. Now I've got my left leg into a lunge. I'm going to, again, keep my chest up nice and tall, and I'm pushing into that wall. Try to relax your body here. I mean, it's easy to tense up as we're doing a stretch. We want to really let that chest and shoulders stretch here. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Thank you guys so much for doing my quick mobility class today. Again, my name is Kayla. Remember, there's plenty of mobility exercises that you can do during your day. This was one that's a little bit easier because you're standing and you don't need any equipment. So there's plenty of ones if you have a foam roller at home, a lacrosse ball or tennis ball. You can do a little bit more work just like you could do in my other mobility classes, so be sure to check those out. But thank you for taking this. I hope you feel a little bit more ready for the rest of your work day. Have a good rest of your guys' week. Thank you.